Legislative Director for the Maryland State Rifle and Pistol Association. I will say in a lot of cases, a lot of the same stuff that she brought up is the same information I would have brought up from a due process perspective, non-adversarial process, and the whole 9 yards. While we were hearing some of the comments about the bill itself and some of the questions that were asked by the delegates here in the committee, I looked up some things as well. To keep the numbers that I had found, delegate cluster was 1.1 million, not 1.5, but a couple of different confusing sources. But one of the things that I found of interest in one of the articles that I found is at the time that it was 1.1 million, 280,000 people on the list were known not to be affiliated with a terrorist organization, but they were still on the list. I had the same information that she found of an individual who's taken 9 years to get off of the list. One of the other things that I found interesting, the chairman asked about the no-fly list. In the state of Oregon, in the Federal District Court of Oregon, in June of 2014, the no-fly list redress process, which is the only documented redress process the Terrorist Screening Center admits to existing relating to any of these lists, was found to be unconstitutionally managed. The District Court in Oregon said that the process as it existed at the time was unconstitutional because of the burden it placed on the person who had to prove that they weren't a member of the person that should be on the list. The TSA, who has the responsibility for managing what's called TRIP, and I can't remember, I'm sorry, I don't remember what the acronym itself stands for, but it's the redress program that is specific to the no-fly list, has now had to go back and readdress that situation. And even in those cases, it's still a non-adversarial process, really. The other thing that I found of interest was that there are reports in various news media, because of the national attention that this has gotten over the past couple of months, that the terror watch list itself is not considered to be federally prohibitive for the purchase of a firearm. So regardless of where this statute was intended to be applied, and Shannon did a great job of mentioning that it doesn't do what the delegate thought it does, it's not a prohibitive case to be on that list to begin with. But again, in my opinion, in looking at the law the way it's written today, this would completely destroy the wear and carry permits of system, period. There's not a single individual, including law enforcement officers, that get wear and carry permits to protect themselves for times when, let's say, when they're transitioning between agencies and they're running without credentials for a couple of weeks to a couple of months while they finish the process. They wouldn't be able to get one. How do you prove the negative? If you can't prove the negative, and the way it's written in the bill is an and, so it must be complied with. If you can't prove the negative, you can't get the permit, so no permits can be issued. Thank you for your time.